Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here at SmartSTEMs. So just to kick it off, could you just introduce yourself and just explain a bit about what it is that you do?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I am Susan Woodhouse and I am a graduate process safety engineer at Mabbett. So I only just started last week, so that's me been here a week. I'm not sure how much information I'll give, but we kind of work supporting kind of process safety functions, like HAZOPs, kind of compliance, DESIR type of work. But I'm just getting exposed to that now, so I'm not sure how much I can add.
So what's actually your title? What's your role?
So I am a graduate process safety engineer.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, congratulations for getting your first job and getting a foot in the door. So, what did you have to do to get to where you are? Like, did you go to university? Did you, is this an apprenticeship? Or tell us a wee bit about that.
Yeah, so I studied chemical engineering at Strathclyde and I did an integrated master's. So that was basically like you do your kind of 4 years and then a fifth year, but you're just kind of graduating with one degree, which is your master's. And I did that at the University of Strathclyde. And actually, after that, I went and worked in industry for a year, kind of a chemical manufacturing site. And then now I've just moved. I was in there for about 14 months and then moved into this role.
So, what or who got you interested in the type of work that you do now?
So a lot of it was more my curiosity in terms of how I like to know how things worked, and chemical engineering kind of revolved around that. There's instances I remember when I was quite young where I used to wonder, like, why was there bubbles on a straw when you put it in fizzy juice?
Cool.
It was, I don't know, it's a really random thing to remember, but a lot of these things that mum was like used to ask these questions, and it was a bit random, obviously, kind of as a child. And mum did electrical or does electrical engineering, so I've always kind of been around that kind of mathematical engineering kind of world, and I enjoyed kind of maths and stuff at school. So that was, I just kind of went with the flow and seeing what opportunities there was available.
So, what was your first job? What was your first ever job?
So my first ever job was just I was a restaurant server. I was only 16, 17. So it was basically just cleaning tables and taking food out to people in a kind of Mexican restaurant near where I stayed. So that was quite good to kind of get the foot in the door and in the working world, to like meet different people and hear about different people's backgrounds. And then I kind of moved into more kind of educational work where I was kind of doing tutoring for kind of younger kids. But it was just kind of going with the flow. I did different jobs like working in shops. So yeah, just whatever background I could get.
Love it. So, what was your favourite subject then at school? What got you curious? What did you study?
So I really enjoyed maths in high school, kind of all throughout it. I liked how you kind of followed the method and you got an answer at the end. I always found with English it was a wee bit harder because I was never really sure if I was getting it right or wrong, whereas I liked with maths. Sometimes you could even check if you got the answer right, so it was just a bit of kind of confidence. And then I also really enjoyed the sciences, so I did chemistry and physics, and then I also crash hired human biology in sixth year. So it was just, I quite enjoyed learning about how things worked. So yeah, it was interesting. I really enjoyed school.
I love that. That's a great role model for the kids out there watching this. So I know you've just been in the job not that long, but already, like, is there any part of it that's really like exciting you to get into? Like, what's the kind of like, what's do you think would be your favorite part of your job?
So far, with the kind of consultancy work, you're always getting exposed to different types of work. So it's not like you're doing the same mundane thing every day. So even so far, I've already been on like a site visit and met with a client and seen how things worked, which was great. Obviously, I'd had a wee bit of experience before, but not in the same kind of industry. And it's just learning new things. Like you're always constantly learning, which is, I think, what I'll really enjoy within this role.
Awesome. So, do you have any advice for the young people watching this video about helping them choose perhaps the right subjects or go along the right path? Is there anything that you've learned along the way you want to share?
I would definitely recommend following what you're interested in. So definitely something you enjoy. I think it's quite easy to maybe just go with something because you think you should, rather than thinking, okay, I'm actually going to enjoy this, because this is what you're going to be doing for quite a lot of your time. Obviously, you can move roles. So it's making sure that you're like motivated to get up and go to work and do the work. is important. And a lot of the time, I always felt quite under pressure to know what to do. I've kind of learned as time goes on, you fall into the right places at the right time. So it's just kind of like trusting yourself and going with the flow and trying to enjoy it as opposed to stressing about what's to come.
Amazing piece of advice. So valuable. So thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Well, that was perfect. Thank you. See you later. Bye.